Welcome to Zeah Bound. I am locked to the continent of Zeah, chasing two mighty goals: soloing the Chambers of Xeric, RuneScape's first raid, and completing the Colosseum, RuneScape's newest and hardest solo content. Restricted to just one area of the game, I'll have to figure out what gear is attainable and how I'll go about getting it, while also figuring out ways I can train all of my skills, as Zeah doesn't give me all the opportunities the rest of the world map does. This is my hardest challenge yet and will test my entire RuneScape knowledge and skill set. So let's see where we got up to, shall we? In the last episode, we completed the 5 prerequisite quests for our first main task, the final Kourend quest, A Kingdom Divided. As a reminder, if we complete this quest without dying, we can change our spawn point to Zeah instead of Lumbridge, meaning we don't lose the integrity of the account and ruin the series. Another benefit of this is that we can utilise the well-used Ultimate Iron Man death mechanic that allows us to die at various places around Zeah and leave our items within a chest or with a certain NPC. This allows us to essentially have 2 invents of items, one in the chest / NPC and a new one in our invent. The only downside to this is that if we die with any of our stuff still in the chest / NPC, we lose all of those items. So I would have to be super extra careful not to ruin all of my progress. Today we have a laundry list of skills to train for the A Kingdom Divided quest requirements, and we have a wish list of gear upgrades that we have meticulously researched. I initially want to focus on the melee setup, as I will need it for the first boss in A Kingdom Divided, the level 168 Judge of Yama, and I will also need it to kill Sarachnis for our final melee weapon, the Sarachnis Cudgel. I think it's about time we get on the move. Okay, step 1 of obtaining the cudgel is to get ourselves a rune scimitar, which I can get from tackling organised crime, like Batman, without the money and the suit, and Alfred, and a sweet cave, and a cart. Okay, it's not like Batman at all, but the gang boss that you can kill from the organised crime minigame can drop a rune scimitar at a rate of 1 in 80. Or we can kill level 109 fire giants, which have a slightly higher drop rate of 1 in 128, but might be a little safer as we can safe spot them with magic. But before we get to that, we need to gain some combat levels and get ourselves some more prayer levels. For this, we are going to a training area that will be a staple of our time here in Kourend, the Catacombs of Kourend. In this dungeon, there are countless mobs of countless levels that all have a chance of dropping dark totem pieces, which when combined together create a key that unlocks a secret hidden boss, Skatizo. But before we even think about Skatizo, we just need to start carving our way through the catacombs. We are here and we are starting with hill giants. These big guys will be fairly easy to kill, and they can drop us some minor gear upgrades, and we can bury their oversized bones for better prayer XP as well. Look at that, the first melee upgrade we've got, the Iron Kite Shield. It's not the final offhand slot upgrade we need to kill the Judge of Yama, but it's definitely the next step. We are restocking our food in PP. We are selling our loot at the general store, nipping over to the food shop as I'm being pretty lazy and not fishing for my food, and then we come to this house here and cook it all on the handily placed stove. Rinse and repeat every invent, and hopefully we get enough gold to still make an overall profit. Oh, the first ensouled head drop. This will be one of our best prayer training methods eventually, but unfortunately it's locked behind A Kingdom Divided, as I need access to the Arceus spellbook to reanimate the head and then kill it for big prayer XP drops. Check back in here in a while and we might be doing that. Look at that, a giant key. These are used to fight the giant boss Obor, but that is unfortunately on the mainland, so we can't actually use them. But it might be fun to stack them up while we are here and see if we could have hit that Obor unique drop rate. Bloody hell, another collection log slot. This time the longbone. We can't actually use this as we need to complete a quest on the mainland, so we can hand it in to a certain NPC for a big XP drop. So we're just gonna have to bury it for a measly 15 prayer XP. Oh, and a curved bone now. This also can't be used, so 15 XP please and thank you. Nice, an ancient shard. These are typically used to charge the sword Arclight, which makes killing demons and abyssal creatures a lot easier, but again, it's locked behind a main land quest, so I'll be using these crystals to teleport around the catacombs when I need to. You can use them on the altar in the middle as you drop down through the statue, and then you can choose which part of the catacombs you want to teleport to. Also, I have swapped locations because of that bloody Roman pickaxe wandering around the hill giants. It kept bopping me. Okay, we got ourselves the first mystery box on the account. If my luck holds out, this is going to be a good item. Oh my god, a steel plate body. That's such a big upgrade to get early on. Holy moly. I hope this carries on for the rest of the adventure. Okay, so here are the stats. We've gone from 49, 60 and 60 all the way up to 64, 66 and 54. That is such a massive upgrade. Let's go. Here is a little insight into how the early game is looking for me. I am lazy, so I am buying and cooking my food here, but then I will run across to this minecart here once I've finished cooking all the food. Choose the Kingstown option, and this takes me all the way over to Karen Castle, where I run to the big statue, and voila, we're in the catacombs. I do this in the opposite direction on the way back, and we're all gravy, baby. That is a simple journey, that is. Holy moly, we are now base 40 combats. We are getting stronger by the day. I'm really flying towards being able to kill the Judge of Yarma, to be honest. I am not 100% certain what levels we'll need to fight the Judge, but I guess once I've collected enough gear to give it a try, then I might as well just go wing it. We have moved our pretty little selves over to fire giants. Foreshadowing confirmed. I think this is going to be way easier than trying to do gangs, as most areas they spawn in are multi-combat and they will all just pile on me. This area is actually a subsection of the catacombs called the Giant's Den, and in here we have hill giants, moss giants, and our target for today, fire giants. Within this cave there are some handy safe spots we can use. These safe spots allow us to kill melee monsters with ranged or mage without actually taking damage, which is perfect for little old me trying to kill these red leveled behemoths. So the plan is to stand right here and kill this one specific fire giant over and over until we get some more melee upgrades. We can't hit the other ones, as where I'm stood is outside their wander range, and they will just wander off and end up getting me killed. We are going to be using water spells to kill the fiery boys and girls, as a recent Jagex update placed elemental weaknesses onto certain monsters, and luckily fire giants got hit with a 100% water weakness, so we should be hitting big real quickly. Oh lordy lord, we got our first dark totem base. These are a 1 in 350 drop rate, so we got super duper lucky there. I don't know what I will do if I get totem early, as I am not sure if I can even kill Skatiza at this point, and being an Ultimate Iron Man, inventory space management is key. I have realised that we can actually get a combat achievement here. The requirement is to kill one hill, moss and fire giant inside the Giant's Den, so there we go. Completed, baby. Oh shit, yeah. This is a massive upgrade for us. The Myth Square Shield really ramps up our defensive stats, and it means getting more upgrades will be easier now. Bloody hell, fire giants, hitting me with all the dark totem parts. This is now the dark totem middle sorted. One more and we can make our first dark totem. Yes, thank Christ for that. We were so dry. I think I killed almost 400 fire giants for this, but boy howdy, this is so worth it. Our next weapon upgrade is actually our final one, so this has really jumped us forward. We can now move on to a few of the easier melee setup pieces. The rune scimitar makes a lot of this stuff a lot easier, so we had to go get it first. The 3 items I'm going for now are the black cape, the Shazian boots 5, and an interim glove slot, Shazian gloves 5. These should be not too tricky to get, but I'm getting the Shazian pieces may get a little sketchy. So let's start with the black cape. Okie dokie, this is why the black cape was first. Super easy to get. Come to the shop in Shazian and buy it. Now we should try a look at the Shazian combat ring minigame, as that's where we're going to get the Shazian boots 5 and the Shazian gloves 5. So for the Shazian combat ring minigame, we have to kill 5 tiers of Shazian soldiers for each of the 5 corresponding tiers of Shazian armor. So for tier 1, 5 kills, for tier 2, 5 kills, for tier 3, 5 kills, etc. We are only allowed to use melee for this, so getting that rune scimitar was seriously crucial. Okay, we're starting with the little level 39 fellow. This shouldn't be too hard and we should be able to fly through. Yeah, look at that, easy peasy. We got our 5 pieces and now we need to keep these pieces on us until we've got all of the next set obtained, or else you won't be allowed to talk to the second person. Let's keep this slaughter train moving. Level 48 tier 2 soldiers, prepare for death. Okay, it's safe to say they were prepared for death and death did take them, so here is all of their pretty armor. So now it's time for the tier 3 boyo. Level 58, this is easy pickings. I'm not even the slightest bit scared. What are you talking about? Shut up. There, see? Shut up. Easy game. There is tier 4 done as well, and there's no missing footage of me running away scared and getting more food. Get out of here. You don't know what you're talking about. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, this guy is battering me. We need to do some leveling. Bloody hell. We need to get some more upgrades before I end up back in the Forsaken Zone. I think I'm going to go back to Fire Giants for a bit to get myself a key mage unlock and then see what's next. Here it is. The key mage unlock, high level alchemy. For those who don't know what this gorgeous thing is, you can turn your items into gold, just like those crap adverts on TV. It is way worse than selling them on the Grand Exchange, where the prices can be, millions for certain items. But it's better than selling them to the various general stores that I'm allowed to use around Zeah. So this is a big unlock for the cash stack. We just got another random, and this time we got a lamp. So like I explained back in episode 1, Slayer is almost impossible for me to train on Zeah, and I didn't want to cheat by doing things on the mainland first, so my only way to train it right now is to use lamps. We have used a few quest lamps already on Slayer, so let's use this now. Level 11, that's massive. So the eventual goal is going to be 48 Slayer, so I can do the Perilous Moons quest in Varlamore. That is going to be quite a few lamps to get us there, but it's far better than the alternative. The alternative is that we get ourselves to combat level 75 and go to Mount Karulm, where we can speak to Zeah's one and only Slayer master, Konar Kumaten. Konar Kuomaten. I apologise to Konar specifically. She can correct me. Unlike normal Slayer Masters who assign you a monster to kill and you can kill that monster wherever they appear in Gielinor, Konar assigns you a specific monster in a specific location around Gielinor. This means if we get lucky, we can go on a task streak and we can get monsters in the catacombs and all these other places around Zeah, and that means we'll be fine. But we could also get very unlucky and be locked out of Slayer on our very first task because it will give us something, I don't know, in Tavali, and we just can't do it. But let's not worry about that right now. Let's just carry on training instead. There it is, the final Exodia piece. We can now create ourselves the full Dark Totem. And when we get strong enough, we can go fight Skatizo, the big purple monster who won't know what hit him. Okay, so hear me out. I know I said I would go away and train and get upgrades so I could kill the tier 5 Shazian guy, and I know that all I've done is use magic and get one upgrade for magic and that's it, but I have a good feeling and I've updated my plan of action, so we're just going to go and kill this man 5 times without dying and get that Shazian outfit tier 5, and I'm going to do it if it's the last thing that I do. Okay, that was super sketch, but holy shit, we did it. And not only did we get our final boot slot upgrade, we got our mid-level glove upgrade, and we green logged our first collection log page. If this isn't going on a roll, then I do not know what is. So now we have some more upgrades. I want even more. This means we need to up the stakes a little bit and get ourselves over to Black Demons. These monstrosities are level 184 and drop us a couple of key items. First, they drop our next shield upgrade, the Mithril Kite Shield. They also drop our second to last helmet upgrade, the Rune Med Helm. And lastly, and most important, they unlock our final chest slot, the coveted Rune Chain Body. The rates are all 1 in 128, and these beasties are going to be more difficult to kill, but luckily, there is a safe spot, and they are weak to water magic, so this should be still fairly easy. So here is the safe spot I'm talking about. I should be able to stand here and mage without retaliation, but stepping out to retrieve our drops will result in me tanking a hit or two for a while before they eventually de-aggro. So I still need to bring some food with me just in case. Oh shit, here we go. Our final melee chest slot piece has been acquired. This is so big. This really does send our stats into the stratosphere. We only need the Mithril Cart Shield and the Rune Medhelm now, and then we can move on to the next monster. For all you stats nerds out there, we have gone from 34, 35 and 26 all the way up to 65, 76 and 80. Now, if that's not a massive upgrade, I don't know what is. Yes, that's the next thing on the list sorted. We get a small bump to the stats on that. Nothing major, but it all definitely helps in the end when we face the Judge of Yama. We are going to high alch our drops for the first time now. I have sold all of the cheap rubbish stuff to the shop. Then I'm going to high alch all the high ticket items. Look at that cash stack grow. This is such a useful thing to have when you can't bank, you can't use the GE, and you can't trade other players. And with that ash being scattered, we have hit a key prayer level and a key prayer upgrade. Protect from magic. Now, I won't go into right now why that is useful, as that's a discussion for later. But let's just say it helps at all points throughout this journey. Well, hey, the final Black Demon drop upgrade, the Rune Medhelm. This is our stepping stone to the final helmet slot upgrade, the Dragon Medhelm. But unfortunately, that comes from some very scary high-level monsters. So instead, we're going to go somewhere a little different and a little more fiery. So now we have basically all of the melee upgrades I want to get before trying to kill the Judge of Yama. We need to turn to protection and inventory. As the Judge uses melee, we will need to get ourselves to level 43 prayer to unlock protect from melee. This would essentially remove all his damage altogether, making the fight way easier. But as you've probably guessed, using prayer uses prayer points, so we will need a way of recharging those prayer points mid-fight. And I think I have the answer. We are going to be moving over to the Forthos dungeon. This can be accessed via ladder in Hasidius and brings us out in a whole new cave system with more monsters to kill and another boss, Sarachnis. This big beastie drops us our best weapon, the Sarachnis Cudgel. However, we are not here for that. If we move over to the central room, we can fight level 152 red dragons. These dragons drop dragon bones that we can bury for big prayer XP, and they also drop our best method for early game supplies, grubby keys. Grubby keys are mostly dropped from monsters in the Forthos dungeon, and they allow us to open the grubby chest located in this room here for large amounts of food and potions. This means once we have protect from melee and the thieving level to open the door to the chest, we can gear up in an instant and go fight the Judge. So let's get cracking on the dragons. And as always, there is a safe spot, and they are weak to water spells. Okay, our first dragon kill. What do we get? Oh my god. We are getting so goddamn lucky on this account. A 1kc grubby key obtained. Now, we can't use this just yet, but it's good to have, and it may be a better idea to get the thieving level and use the keys one by one, but, you know, whatever. Oh, I forgot about tattered pages. This is very interesting. So these tattered pages can be collected for a mini quest in this dungeon. You need to collect 4 pages for each of these books: the Tome of the Temple, Tome of the Sun, and Tome of the Moon. They drop from all of the mobs in this dungeon, but seeing as we need to kill loads of these red dragons, hopefully we'll get them all from here. Welp, I just accidentally did a medium diary task while using the Caress memoirs to teleport around the map. I believe that was for using the book to teleport to every major city, but you know, we've done it, so we don't have to think about that later on. Okay, that is the final page. These were a lot more common than I thought they were going to be, which is quite good. So we're going to go and start this mini quest by talking to my friend and yours, Brother Amiri. Brother Amiri. Brother Amiri is a poorly fella, and to get better, he is requesting 5 pieces of food. So seeing as we don't have these honours, we're going to nip over to PP, and then boom, we are back. He has now told us to collect the 3 books that I mentioned earlier, so we can fill them with the pages that we've already collected. So the books are in that room there with the mages. So we are going to recharge our run energy and then run around searching the bookcases until we have them all. Luckily, we got ourselves Protect from Magic, so this should be a breeze. Okay, the books are collected, so we can now fill them with the pages. Boom, sorted. These books are filled to the brim with pages. We have now been told that to finish this mini quest, we need to speak to Zeah. who is located in the Arceus library, and give her the full books. She should then give me an XP lamp that will give me 10,000 experience in a skill over the level 40. Okay, we are here. Take these books from me and give me that sweet, sweet lamp. Right, so now we have finished this mini quest and we have received this lamp. I should be able to destroy it and then get it back from her later on where we... Wait, I can't destroy it? Ah, shit. That is not good. Not only is that an invent space that we've just lost, but I guarantee you I will accidentally use it in the future. As my other series, I'm using lamps when I get them on magic, and it's actually pretty much second nature now. Ah, god damn it. This is definitely another foreshadowing moment. By the way, we have dropped our 10 giant keys to make room for this. We are past the giant grind now and we can't use them anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much. We got 10 in the end, which is way off the drop rate for Obor's Club, so that was a bit of a fail overall. 40 prayer. That means that we have just unlocked protect from range. Look at that. That is going to come in very handy later on. There are quite a few monsters with rage attacks. Okay, confession time. The foreshadowing has been confirmed. I used the lamp in autopilot mode while watching TikToks on my phone. I am a disgrace to Old School Runescape and YouTube. I have failed my friends and my family, and I promise you I will not make this mistake again. This is my public apology video. Lots of love. Hannibal. Is that how apology videos end? Am I supposed to like write a song, play something on guitar, or do I need to pretend to cry? I can't really remember. How does it work? I'm sure there's some lovely YouTube apology videos that I could take some inspiration from. Right, now we've done more training and we have more pages. We can sell these ones to Lagosia for 1,000 GP each. This should be a very nice way to make some money and train at the same time, which is far better than some of the other money making methods that we have. Okay, dunce random. Took me to school and I schooled the school in schooling, which, you know, means we now get 12 Slayer. So there you go. Look at that. This is big. This is so big. We have now unlocked all of the protection prayers available to us. The Judge of Yarma better be shaking his knee-high Doc Martens or whatever he wears. Now we have done with the protection portion of the two-step plan, we can now focus on the invent portion. And to do that, we need to use our grubby keys on the grubby chest to get the grubby loot. But unfortunately, the grubby gate in which we need to get through to open said chest is locked behind a 57 thieving requirement. Lucky for us, we need 52 thieving for the A Kingdom Divided quest anyway, so it's definitely a worthwhile venture. Okay, back to thieving means back to the bakery stalls. We need to stay here for a few levels so we can start using the fruit stalls. Okay, here we are at the fruit stalls. We need to stay here now until we get 57 thieving done. And luckily for me, these stores are actually meta for the fastest XP until level 45, which is actually huge. There hasn't been many times in the last year that I've actually had a meta skilling method to use. Okay, big jump, but that is 45 thieving done. And instead of swapping to blackjacking, like the wiki guide suggests that I should, we have to stay here for the rest of these levels because we can't blackjack. Another lamp coming in, and that is 13 Slayer. Whoa, 14 Slayer, let's go. And boom. 57 thieving done. We tried the sweaty run between the stalls method, but there were too many people here, so it was just intense clicking for 9 hours on one stall instead. We can now go and open the grubby gate, so let's go do that. Okay, the gate is open, and now it's time for the chest. Okay, nice start. We got a 2-dose superset. These will boost our attack, strength, and defense stats. Very nice. Oh, okay. 2 prayer pots, some sharks. This is a good invent to have a pop at the judge. Shall we go and start the quest? You are fucking kidding me. We have to finish all the quest requirements before we can even start the quest. This is absolute bullshit. Where on the wiki does it tell me this? God damn it. Right, instead of this invent going to waste, we're going to go and kill some sergeants in Shazian in the hopes that we get spooned a rune cart shield before our stuff runs out. Not banking on getting anything though. Okay, nope, we didn't get anything of note, so I guess it's time for the skilling saga. Before we begin the skilling saga fully, I just wanted to say that we are completely okay with setbacks on this channel. We take it in our stride and we work our way around it. It just means that the judge gets an extra few weeks of life but his end is inevitable. I am inevitable. We are beginning skilling with woodcutting. This is obviously a sore spot for me. I currently have too many million XPs on my other account without a certain item, but it should be an easy and chill grind. We need to get ourselves to 52 woodcutting. So let's get this started by getting ourselves our first axe, the bronze axe. We are in Shazian, and we can get ourselves a bronze axe from this shop here. It's basically worth nothing, and we will need to use it until we can source another axe, which might be more difficult than we think. We are chopping our trees in and around Hasidius. I think it's the best place to be. Has the most trees. We don't have to travel too far. So let's start deforesting this beautiful community, shall we? Okay, we are now 21 woodcutting, and we have unlocked our first axe upgrade that we can actually source here on Zeah, the myth axe. We can only source this axe feasibly from one thing from this long list of sources, and that's king sand crabs. The drop rate is 1 in 12.8, which is very reasonable, but king sand crabs are combat level 107, so we're going to have to safe spot them with magic. Holy shit, we got the myth axe in 2 kill count. That is mad. Well, this is what we'll be using until 52 woodcutting, so that saved me a lot of time. Better get back to those oaks. 30 woodcutting done. We can now move on up to willow trees. They are located not far away from where we are at with the oaks, so I get to keep the lovely scenery. 45 woodcutting, big jump. This means we can go to maple trees now. I think there are some nice ones over by Watson's house. Yeah, here they are. Very cozy, very chill. I could stay here forever, to be honest. But we've got big plans to complete. So, woodcutting is over. Sad to see it go, but that's one thing ticked off the requirement list, and arguably the easiest. So, what's next? It's mining time. I figured this would be the next step up in intensity. We don't need to smith anything, so we can just mine and drop ores. We need 42 mining. And luckily, Lovercane is famous for mining, so let's head over there and try and buy some pickaxes. Okay, this fella here sells basically all the pickaxes that we're ever going to need, so this should be a doddle. I was either blind or working on autopilot, but we came back to PP to mine, and here is 15 mining. We can now move over here to iron ore. 21 mining complete, which means it's time to upgrade our pick to mithril. Yes, sir. We have 30 mining now, which means we can move ourselves into Lovercane to mine coal. There was a few ores over by the bank, so let's set up there for a while. Okay, we can now upgrade our pick once again, this time to adamant. And I think this should do us through to 42 mining. Whoa, mining is complete. That wasn't too bad at all. Slightly more involved in the wood cutting grind, but it's now ticked off the list, which is perfect. And we can now move on to arguably a big step up in annoyance, crafting. So the crafting plan has been meticulously worked through by me to create the easiest possible way to achieve 38 crafting. So firstly, we get ourselves to Land's End, which can be done by talking to Vios on the docks in PP. Once there, we speak to the charter people to buy an invent of buckets of sand and soda ash. We then use Carest's memoirs to teleport to Lovercane, where we use the furnace to turn our invent into molten glass. We then teleport to PP using the memoirs and glassblow using the glass blowing pipe we bought from the charters, all of the molten glass into the highest level item we can on our run back to Vios. Rinse and repeat, and I'm sure we'll be 38 in no time, right? An easy level to start, but 4 crafting means we can now make candle lanterns, which should give our XP gained a bit of a boost. Okay, a few trips later, we are now 12 crafting, and we can craft oil lamps instead. This running around is making me wish we had tackled agility first, and then done this next. Our memoirs have run out of teleports, which means we now need to go and charge it. To do this, we need to pray to a statue near Land's End with 1 body, mind, soul, and lore rune for each teleport, up to a maximum of 100 teleports. Luckily, we can buy mind, body, and soul runes from the shop in Arceus, but lore runes are a bit more tricky. To get lore runes, I either need to kill thousands of hill giants for their 1 in 42.67 lore rune drop, which gives 2 lore runes per drop, or we can go use all of these grubby keys with a 1 in 10 chance to get 200 lore runes from the grubby chest. I know which one I prefer right now. Oh, thank God. Our second to last grubby key has given us the lore runes. We can now move over to Land's End and get this book recharged. Look at that, 100 charges. That looks so clean. I wonder if I will have to recharge this again. Foreshadowing. Another good thing about using all those grubby keys is our invent is now way more clear, so we can do larger invents per run, which is going to gain way more XP. This is my first Ultimate Iron Man account, so I guess I just need to be way more brutal with my invent management and bin off anything I can get back later. Okay, 33 crafting complete. I can now make vials all the way to the finish line. I've been thinking about why crafting training here in Land's End is so good for me. There is never anyone here buying up the supplies, which is great, and a lot of places on the map I might have been fighting against bots and other players for all the supplies, which is not good. Oh, thank God, crafting is now finished. Level 38 complete. We can now move to agility, which, like I said, in hindsight should have been done first, but we live and we learn. Let's see how long it takes us to get to 54 agility, shall we? We've been on the course for a bit now, and I've been looking at what's next for me. The Shazing course has 2 sections to it. The basic course, which I'm doing now, and the advanced course, which requires 45 agility. Seeing as we need to get to 54 agility for the A Kingdom Divided requirements, it does sound like a good idea to swap, but unfortunately, and stupidly, if you ask me, you need a myth grapple to access the advanced course, and short of getting 59 smithing to make the grapple, I'm a bit boned on that, to be honest. So it looks like the 10k per hour basic course is the only play. 45 agility, let's go. This would be where we swap to the advanced course, but as we know, myth grapples are an elusive maiden, so we've got to make do with this basic maiden. Here we are at 50 agility. We are now in the home stretch. I think it's probably a good time to talk about the marks of grace that I've been collecting on this course. These things are usually used in the Thieves Guild in Burthorpe to buy the graceful set. This makes you lighter so you can run for longer, but unfortunately I can't go to Burthorpe, so they are just a useless coaster for the copious amounts of tea that I don't drink. And that is that. The final non-stressful skill completed. For those who are interested, 1 to 54 agility took 973 laps of the basic course, which was actually not as stressful as I thought it would be, and now means I can run around for a lot longer. I am very thankful that Jagex decided to change this agility course just after I started this series, as it would have been quite a few lamps to get it started, and this way I was able to focus my lamping on Slayer. This skilling saga is drawing to a close. We have ticked off 6 of the 7 requirements for the A Kingdom Divided quest, and we have the quest in our sights. We have spent countless hours crafting, mining, thieving, woodcutting, all leading up to a skill that has been making me sweat profusely on how we're going to manage to train this without blowing a gasket. And that skill is Herblore. This is the bane of many accounts. Iron Men, chest locked, boss locked, chunk locked, region locked. Many have tackled this before me, and many will tackle this after me. But for now, it's my turn, and we're going to have to do it without leaving Zeah. So tune in next time, as one story ends, another begins.